Howdy folks, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey with the mighty Jingles. Yeah, I know, it's about damn time. Well anyway, we're in the middle of a little bit of a good news, bad news situation. We're attempting to work our way back into the good graces of the Spartan kings after being exiles for the last 20 years, while at the same time figuring out which one of them is a cultist traitor in desperate need of a damn good stabbing. In order to do this, the Spartan kings have each given us a task. One wants us to assist the Spartan forces in Boeotia to a victory, and the other wants us to ensure the safe arrival of the Spartan pankration champion to the Olympic Games in order to guarantee Spartan victory there as well. And that's where we ran into a bit of a problem when this happened.
I needs to be oiled before I goes to the games.
Well, I would have been happy to assist if you were in any state to compete.
I likes to be oiled.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah. You knows. Come here. Gives us a hug.
Surely he can swim.
Well, it looks like you're the champion now.
I can't believe he's gone. Unprecedented.
And you want me to compete in the Olympics? Stepping into a dead man's sandals. And Testicles isn't even digested yet.
Oh, come, dear Cassie. Show them what you're made of. And show me while you're at it.
So, yeah, a little bit of a recap there for those of you who missed the previous episode. As you can see, we have a little bit of a problem. Poor old Testicles, yes, that was his name. It's okay, you can laugh, I did. Poor old Testicles, who was supposed to be winning the pankration event at the Olympics for the greater glory of Sparta, is now lining the inside of a shark's belly. Which, of course, means that somebody's going to have to replace him, and everybody's looking at me. Bugger. There were a number of different sporting events that took place in the ancient Greek Olympic Games, although originally they weren't games at all. It was a festival in honour of the god Zeus. The first sporting event held at the Olympics was the introduction of a foot race, going back as far as I think 776 BC. Eventually, 23 different sporting events would be held at the Olympics every 4 years, although no more than 20 would actually take part in any one Olympiad. There were all kinds of different sporting events. The original foot race, javelin throwing, wrestling, chariot racing, which women were allowed to take part in. They even had competitions for heralds and trumpeters. But it's the pankration introduced into the Olympic Games in the year 648 BC that we're primarily interested in here. Pankration is, well, it's a lot like modern mixed martial arts. There were elements of boxing, elements of wrestling, but as well as punching and grappling, you were also allowed to kick. Pankration fighting didn't really have a lot of rules. The first one to be beaten into submission, or surrender, was the loser. Simple as that. It's not like ancient Greek wrestling that did have strict rules to decide who won the fight and who didn't. Generally speaking, to win a fight in Greek wrestling, you had to be the first one to get 3 throws on your opponent. Not so in pankration. Basically, it was the last man standing. The sport was barely regulated at all. There were no weight divisions amongst fighters, for example. In fact, there were only 2 age groups, men and boys. And the only real rules were that you weren't allowed to bite your opponent and you weren't allowed to stick your thumb or fingers into your opponent's eyes. In order to ensure that the rules were observed, pankration referees would be armed with clubs, and they weren't afraid to use them. There were also no time limits in a pankration match. The fight went on until a clear winner had emerged. As you can imagine, a particularly violent and bloodthirsty sport like pankration was particularly popular with the audiences. Probably also with the winner, although almost certainly not so much for the poor sod who lost, as there was a very real chance of serious injury being inflicted. Unsurprisingly, the sport was actually quite popular with the Romans, who introduced it into their own games during the Imperial Roman period. Although it didn't last too long, it was abolished by the Christian Byzantine Emperor Theodosius I. in the year 398 AD. In the Greek world, the Olympics were considered a holy event as well as a sporting event, and there was a truce in place to ensure that athletes representing various different states that may have been at war with each other were still able to compete at the games unhindered.
To think I would see such an offering to the gods in Olympia itself.
I've never seen anything like this.
And this is nothing. On the final day, the Magiros will slaughter 100 bulls for the hecatomb to honor Zeus.
I could eat.
But that's not for people like us.
What's wrong with people like us? My friend here would like to savor your offering. I have the drachmi.
Won't say no to some extra drachmi.
Mmm, delicious. Thank you, my friend.
Gladly. I know how much this all means to you.
Well then, I think we have spent enough time here.
Agreed. Let's go. We're in Olympia. It's only fitting we visit the Temple of Zeus.
Oh, Barnabas does love the Olympics, but right now we have to sort out our pankration problem, so we're going to have to go and see the event organiser and explain what's happened to the Spartan champion.
Pankration here! Last chance to claim your spot!
I'm here for the pankration.
You must be joking. The only fighter we're missing is Testicles.
He's a little under the water. I mean, weather. I'm the one taking his place.
Okay. Save it for the fight. This is unprecedented, but the crowd will riot if the pankration is cancelled. Very well. The competition begins shortly.
I need to do something first, but I'll be back.
Bring your courage with you.
Before we get started, we did tell Barnabas that we'd meet him at the Temple of Zeus. And the centrepiece of the Temple of Zeus was a very famous statue of Zeus himself. The statue was actually built, is that the right word for making a statue? Sculpted, I suppose, yes. By the Athenian sculptor Phidias. You might remember the name because we've actually met him while playing the game. In fact, we had to smuggle him out of Athens on the orders of Pericles, because the cult of Cosmos was after him for some reason. Never did find out why. But here is what many regard as Phidias' finest achievement, the statue of Zeus in the Temple of Zeus at the Olympiad.
I heard it's one of the wonders of the world, and sculpted by your friend, Phidias.
I'd hardly say friend. Even acquaintance might be pushing it.
Can't you just feel the presence of Zeus and Hera when you stand here?
I thought it was the wind.
Don't mock the gods!
I'm sorry. I don't want my feelings to cast a shadow on your day.
Don't think yourself as tortured by the gods, but as molded for greatness by their hands.
I am molded by no one's hands. If the gods know me, they watch in silence.
Come, let's leave this place. Fortunately for you, I have enough faith for the both of us.
Don't get me wrong, I do like Barnabas, but he is a superstitious old fool. Anyway, next stop, the Olympic tree. What's so special about a tree? Well, we'll let Barnabas explain.
You brought me to see a tree?
Not just any tree. This is the sacred tree from which the winner's kotinos are made.
I'd rather have drachmi than a wreath.
A kotinos is no ordinary wreath. The olive branches are harvested by children and taken to the Temple of Hera. There, the Hellenodike, or judges, make the wreaths.
I guess they'll be lighter to carry back to Sparta than gold.
At least you see the practicality, if not the wonder, of the Olympic wreaths.
He's not joking, by the way. That was the prize for winning one of the events at the Olympics. Not gold, not riches, no. You got a bit of olive branch to wrap around your ears. It was... not entirely sure it was worth it. Well, there was the fame and glory as well, I suppose. Speaking of which, it's about time that we turned up at the pankration.
You're back. Maybe you're not a coward after all.
Time to go.
Now, I know that a lot of you are probably eagerly awaiting our first Greek Olympic sporting event because Greek athletes competed in the nude. Well, that might have been true 2,000 years ago, but not in a Ubisoft computer game with an age rating like this. Sadly, that's the best you can look forward to.
Welcome all! It is my pleasure to introduce to you Kalias, a former champion here in the stadium, and now an esteemed judge here in Olympia.
My friends, it is an honor for me to introduce this event, one so close to my heart. The Pankration! I will not delay you with words, for we all want to see action. For Zeus, let the competition commence!
I'll squish you like a bag!
Well, we're just going to have to see about that, aren't we, Sunshine? Now, you'll notice that when you're taking part in this event, you don't actually have any special abilities available, because you don't have the spear, you don't have any of your armour, or any of your weapons. Although there is one special ability that is available if... I think it's the Overpower attack ability, which is activated by pressing the R key as long as you have at least 3 adrenaline bars. As it happens, I didn't need it.
That was your best?
That was but the beginning!
What?
Now that our contestant is warmed up, let's see what she can do against Erastos!
Good luck!
This time around, we are actually going to use that special ability. And as you can see, it's remarkably effective. Although he wasn't that tough.
The crowd loves you, but you're not done yet.
Not done?
A fine offering to the gods, wouldn't you say? Soon, we will return for the final contest. The mighty Cassandra against our reigning champion, Warriors.
Bring them on, one at a time or all together, it's all the same to me.
Astounding! To think I could be a companion to an Olympic champion.
Oh, you're even better at sparring than I am. Though, if Socrates were a more willing partner...
Alcibiades, are you all right?
I was with my friends, Demophanes and Callias. Respected Olympic judges, no less.
Too much cheap wine?
You look like you drank from Medea's cup.
Medea's cup? You think he's been poisoned? You were celebrating?
It's the Olympics. What's not to celebrate? We were at the Leonideon.
If you've been poisoned, I need to find these judges.
Poisoned? Do you think that they could be too, or... No, never. They're good men. You can't think one of them. They host a celebration every Olympics to celebrate the sacred truce.
Stay with him. I'll find out what happened.
I'll tell you what happened.
Extend to me your olive branch, and I will take the grove.
This bugger, the former Pankration champion, is a member of the cult of Cosmos, and stabbing him is going to reward us with the Spartan war hero boots. There's just one teensy-weensy little problem. Did I mention that there was a truce in place over the Olympic Games? Any crimes committed at or around the Olympics are punished with double the penalty of crimes committed elsewhere. So I can't really afford to just do my usual run around, stab everyone first and ask questions later tactic because, well actually, what's the worst that's going to happen? I mean, it just means I'll get the same number of mercenaries coming after me just twice as quickly as normal. I think I can handle those odds.
Sanctuary of Olympia, where the greatest athletes compete for fame and glory.
So this is where Alcibiades was attending a party hosted by 2 of the Olympic judges. One of them we know is a cultist.
truce is fragile enough. This was definitely poison. And Alcibiades wasn't the only victim. This proves it. Poison. It must have been added to the food and wine. This food smells strange, but it's not rotten. Supply list for the celebration. And the merchant's name. Time to pay this Priam a visit. Now, we're going to have a conversation.
Please, please, I was just doing what I was told.
Now you'll do what I tell you.
Oh, please. I thought we were just trying to make them slow. You know, so they lose. Win a few drachmi.
My friend Alcibiades may already be dead, and you're talking about drachmi.
The golden boy. I was there. He didn't have much. If you can get him the antidote, he'll survive.
Tell me where it is.
They're sure to have it at Fort Coroibos. A man there paid me to do this. Look there.
Well, nobody said this was going to be easy. So now, my mission, should I choose to accept it, and, well, really what choice do I have, is to infiltrate the fort in the middle of the Olympic truce, which means I have to be very careful to not kill anybody, and recover the antidote that is Alcibiades' only chance of survival. Who thinks I'm going to be able to do this without stabbing anyone? Come on, place your bets. Really? You lot have no confidence in me, do you? I'm shocked. I'm appalled. I'm disappointed. Come on, give me some credit.
Check that out.
Oh, am I going to kill him? Am I going to kill him? Yeah, there's the first one. Well, actually, no. You see, I didn't kill him. I just knocked him out. You lot have so little faith in me, it's shocking. There's the antidote. Now I just have to get out of here without killing anyone. I don't know, sometimes. You lot. You're not out of there yet, Jingles. Yeah. You lot will be laughing on the other side of your face in a minute when I get out of here without inflicting any deaths on anybody. And we've nearly done it. Just have to get out of the search zone, and there it is. Screw all of you. Okay, I admit, I didn't exactly pull it off with the most elegant execution possible, but nobody died, and I got the antidote. So, yeah to all of you. Now to get the antidote back to Alcibiades.
Here, I have the antidote.
More wine, please, to wash away the taste.
A treatment worthy of Hippocrates.
I can already feel my stamina returning.
Yep, he's cured.
Didn't you have one last fight in the pankration?
Let's go.
Well, he's not wrong. I do have one last fight against the reigning champion. At the conclusion of which, I'm going to have to think of a way of dealing with that cultist, the Judge Callius, the former champion.
Last chance to claim your spot. Your next opponent is Dorios. Claims to be descended from Heracles himself.
I'm ready.
You ever faced an Olympic champion before?
No, but I've gotten this far.
Well, you don't look the part. You're not even oil for Zeus' sake.
I do have some oil. It could come in handy, and it smelled good. I'll use it. Come to wish me luck?
Of course. And if you win, you should come dine with me sometime.
Maybe I'll hunt you down after the event, to take you up on your offer.
Not very subtle, Cassandra.
Of course, after the event.
Yeah, now he knows that I know. Oh well, let's get this over and done with. First, gonna get myself oiled up good and proper. Steady on, boys, and then somebody
You smell
is
better
gonna get a
than
damn good
last
kicking.
time.
Let's get this over with.
For Ira. We've seen our esteemed newcomer rise quickly to become a contender. But let's see how she does against our reigning champion, Doriath!
Oh, bloody hell, he's a big bugger. But then again, there were no weight divisions in Pankration. You may have to fight somebody as big as that. So, I'm going to start off by letting him take the first swing and then block and counter-attack, like so. And then, we're going to finish him off with the overpower attack ability. And it is pretty impressive. And there it is. It's fairly brutal, but I'm sure you'll agree, remarkably effective.
Victory! Nike!
That's right, history fans, it's a little known fact that Nike were actually the first sponsors of the ancient Olympic Greek Games. No, not really. Nike was the Greek goddess of victory, and also apparently of running shoes.
The gods have looked kindly on these, our champions! But there can only be one winner! Sparta! Yours is eternal glory!
Well, I'd rather have eternal cash, but I suppose glory will do. So, that's at least one of the Spartan kings. That's something to be happy about. And one of them is about to be very unhappy as I'm about to bump off one of his associates. The former Pankration champion and Olympic judge, Callias, who is a known member of the cult of Cosmos. What are you looking at? Would you bugger off? I'm trying to assassinate somebody here. Goddamn Olympic truce. Right. Check the coast is clear. Sneak up. And make with the stabbing. I'll try to kill Alcibiades. We're not having that. Anybody who... Oh, bugger. Hello, sir. You appear to have tripped and fallen on the... Ah, shit. He's not falling for it. God damn it. And it was all going so well. Oh, well. Right. Now confirm the cultist kill. Actually, I think we got away with that without, for some reason, incurring the wrath of the Olympians. But cultist defeated, Callias. We have the Spartan war hero boots. Let's find somewhere secluded and investigate the clues that we've just collected from Callias. There he is, member of the Peloponnesian League. And that's bringing us one step closer to unveiling the sage in charge, who's a bit of a noob apparently. According to their loot, they're only level 32. So that is the main quest line complete here at the Olympics. It's not the only quest line, of course. There's a whole number of other different things available for you to do. That, in case you're wondering, is a statue of Chronos, one of the Titans, who was the father of Zeus. Chronos, one of the Titans, was famous for a number of things, not least of which for cutting off his father Uranus's bollocks and casting them into the ocean. But as the statue depicts, he also ate his children. Now, you might think that sounds a little drastic, but he actually did it for a very good reason. Because after cutting his father's balls off and taking his place as ruler of the cosmos, he was cursed to suffer the fate of being overthrown by his own children. And so he solved the problem by eating them. And in fact, he ate all of them, with the exception of Zeus. Zeus's mother, Rhea, spirited him away to Mount Ida in Crete, where he was raised with the sole intention of coming back and kicking his pappy's ass, which something that Zeus was entirely happy to do, in the process liberating his other brothers and sisters, who for some reason were still alive and kicking, in Chronos' belly. Zeus celebrated this occasion by immediately marrying one of his sisters, Hera. Yeah, if it wasn't apparent already, by now you're probably realising that the Greek gods were seriously screwed up. And in fact, not a lot of people realise that Zeus wasn't actually the first of the Greek gods. And I'm not just talking about the fact that the Titans preceded them. Zeus was the sixth child of Chronos. And in fact, Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, who most people assume was one of Zeus's and Hera's children, actually preceded all of them. It's said that Aphrodite came into being from the blood that was spilled into the sea, from the testicles of Uranus. I am not making this up, right? From the testicles of Uranus that had been cut off by Chronos using a sickle that was made by Uranus's wife, Gaia. Like I said, the Greek gods were seriously screwed up. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, even if you've been emotionally and mentally scarred by the tales of the Greek gods and how they came to be, because that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.